Hello everyone, this is Dr. K. Jagannayaki, Professor in MBA Department, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. So today I want to discuss with you a few case studies on demand analysis. After going through this topic, the learner will be able to understand and apply the concept of demand analysis and analyze real life scenarios. So the first case study, the launch of a new smartphone scenario. A leading technology company plans to launch a new smartphone model in the market. The marketing team needs to understand the demand for the product to determine the production levels. So the tasks that are given are explain the role of business economics in making decisions about production and pricing for the new smartphone, identify the factors that would influence the demand for this smartphone, consider aspects such as price, consumer income, and preferences. Third one, apply the law of demand to predict how the change in the price of the smartphone will affect its demand. And fourth, discuss the potential elasticity of demand for the smartphone and how would you price increase or decrease affect the sales. And fifth one, suggest methods for forecasting the demand for the smartphone. What factors should the company consider in its forecast? So let us start with the definition of business economics. As we know, business economics applies economic theories and principles to business decision making. It involves analyzing demand, production, cost, and pricing strategies to optimize resource use. Coming to the scope, in this case, business economics helps determine the optimal production level for the smartphone based on expected demand, pricing strategies, and market conditions. So let us go through the demand determinants. Price. The cost of the smartphone will directly affect demand. Higher the prices might reduce demand, while lower prices could increase it. Coming to the consumer income, higher disposable income generally increases demand for luxury or high technology goods like smartphones. Coming to the preferences, features, design, and brand reputation will influence consumer preferences and thus demand. Substitutes. The availability and pricing of substitute product, example other smartphone brands, will also impact demand. Next, law of demand. According to the law of demand, if the price of the smartphone increases, the quantity demanded will decrease and vice versa, assuming other factors remain constant. Next, elasticity of demand, price elasticity. So, if the smartphone is a luxury item with many substitutes, the demand is likely elastic. A price increase could lead to a significant drop in sales, while a price decrease would boost demand. Coming to income elasticity, as a normal good, demand for the smartphone may rise as consumer income increases. Then coming to the cross elasticity, the demand for this smartphone could also depend on the price changes of competing brands. Coming to demand forecasting methods, market survey. So conducting surveys to gauge customer or consumer interest and willingness to pay. Trend analysis, which is used to analyze the past sales data of similar products, and econometric models application using statistical methods to predict demand based on identified variables and factors consider economic conditions, consumer preferences, technological advancements, and competitor activities. Case study 2, introduction of an electric vehicle. The scenario, a car manufacturer is considering entering the electric vehicle market. They need to analyze the demand for EVs and understand the market dynamics before launching their product. The task to be performed: explain how business economics will assist the company in its decision to enter the EV market, identify key factors influencing the demand for electric vehicles, discuss how changes in price might affect the demand for the company's EV. Next, analyze whether the demand for EVs is likely to be elastic or inelastic and why, and recommend a strategy for forecasting the demand for EVs. Include factors that should be considered. So, coming to the solution, business economics involves applying economic concepts to business decisions such as product launches and pricing strategies. And it is real how it is relevant when we are talking about the relevance for the EV market. Business economics helps the company evaluate the market potential, pricing strategies, cost management, and profit maximization. Then, coming to the demand determinants for EVs, environmental concerns, growing awareness and regulations around climate change increase demand for EVs, and government incentives, subsidies, and tax benefits can boost demand. Fuel prices, high fuel cost can make EVs more attractive, increasing demand. Technology and infrastructure, availability of charging stations, advancements in battery technology will influence demand. Then, how law of demand applicable? If the price of the EV increases, the demand is expected to decrease, assuming all other factors remain constant. However, the demand might be less sensitive to price if the vehicle offers significant environmental or cost saving benefits. And coming to the elasticity of demand for EVs, price elasticity, demand may be relatively inelastic initially due to the lack of substitutes and the niche market. However, as the market matures and more options becomes available, elasticity may increase. Coming to income elasticity, as a relatively expensive product, EV demand may be more sensitive to changes in consumer income. Then coming to the demand forecasting for EV models, the strategies, adoption rate models, estimate how quickly consumers will adapt EVs based on trends and consumer attitudes. Scenario analysis is also applicable here. Consider different scenarios based on government policies, technological advancements, and fuel prices. The factors that influence are economic growth, environmental regulations, consumer preferences, and technological developments should be factored into the forecast. Third case study, expansion of a fast food chain scenario. A fast food chain plans to expand its operations into a new city. The management team needs to conduct a demand analysis to decide on the number of outlets to open and their locations. The tasks are identify the factors that would influence the demand for fast food in the new city. Second, explain how the pricing of menu items will impact customer demand. Third, analyze the price elasticity of demand for fast food. How will changes in prices affect sales? Fourth, suggest methods for forecasting demand for the new outlets. Consider factors like population, demographics, and local competition. Discuss how understanding demand and elasticity will help the company make decisions regarding pricing, outlet locations, and menu offerings. So let us start with demand determinants, income levels. As we know, higher income levels may lead to greater spending on dining out. Coming to the population demographics, younger populations and working professionals are more likely to frequent fast food outlets, and competitor presences like the number and type of competitors in the area will influence the demand, and cultural preferences will also have influence on demand. Local food culture preferences can affect the acceptance and demand for fast food. And how law of demand applicable here? If the prices of the menu items are set too high, demand may decrease as consumers may seek cheaper alternatives. Conversely, if prices are low, demand may increase, but the company needs to ensure profitability. Coming to the concept of elasticity of demand. So let us start with price elasticity. Fast food typically has a high price elasticity of demand because consumers can easily switch to home cooked meals or other dining options if prices rise. Then cross elasticity means here the demand for the fast food chains offerings may be affected by changes in the prices of competitors product. Based on that, even our food chain offerings may also depends on our competitors products. Then coming to demand forecasting methods. So in this case also one should use survey method, conducting local surveys to gauge consumer interest in the brand, and use of regression analysis. So using statistical models to predict demand based on variables like income levels, competitors pricing, and population density. And location analysis should be done. It means that studying foot traffic and proximity to schools, offices, and residential areas to determine the best outlet locations. And the factors that should be considered under this consider seasonal variations, local events, and the economic environment of the city. And business economic applications include pricing decisions. Understanding the elasticity of demand will help the company set prices that maximize revenue without losing customers. So we have to maximize the revenue, but we should maintain loyal customers. Then outlet locations, it also influence, like demand analysis will guide the selection of locations with high foot traffic and potential for growth. And menu offerings, analyzing consumer preferences and income levels will help tailor the menu to local taste and price sensitivity. So this should be done just by conducting a market research. Based on that, we can make changes in the existing business applications. Next, fourth case study, introduction of a luxury clothing line. So the scenario is a fashion company is launching a luxury clothing line aimed at high income consumers. So the company needs to analyze the demand to determine the right pricing strategy and production quantities. So the tasks are identify the key factors influencing the demand for luxury clothing, discuss how the pricing of the clothing line might affect the demand, evaluate the potential elasticity of demand for luxury goods. How would a price increase impact sales? And next, propose a strategy for forecasting demand for the new clothing line, considering factors like fashion trends and consumer income. And also explain how understanding demand and elasticity will help the company in pricing, production, and marketing decisions. So, coming to the solution, demand determinants that should be considered under this particular case are consumer income. So, higher income levels increase the demand for luxury goods, and brand image. The perceived value and prestige associated with the brand will drive the demand. Fashion trends, current fashion trends, and consumer preferences will influence the demand. And economic environment, like in times of economic downturn, demand for luxury goods might decrease. And law of demand, as with other goods, higher prices generally lead to lower demand. But however, luxury goods may have some exceptions where higher prices can increase demand due to their status symbol effect. Example, Veblan goods. Then third one is elasticity of demand, where we used to focus on price elasticity and income elasticity. So, price elasticity means demand for luxury clothing is typically inelastic because consumers of luxury goods are less sensitive to price changes. Whereas income elasticity, luxury clothing is highly income elastic, meaning demand increases significantly as income rises. And the demand forecasting methods like market analysis Through this, analyzing the spending patterns of high income consumers in the target market and trend forecasting should be done to monitor fashion trends and predict their impact on demand. Sales data analysis, it is nothing but studying the sales data of similar luxury products to predict demand, and the factors that should consider are economic conditions, consumer confidence, and global fashion trends. And coming to business economic application. So pricing strategy, just by understanding the demand elasticity, helps in setting premium prices that reflect the luxury status while optimizing revenue. And production decisions means here demand analysis ensures that production levels align with expected sales, avoiding excess inventory or stock outlets. Whereas coming to the marketing campaigns can be developed based on an understanding of consumer preferences and demand drivers. And fifth case study is price adjustment for a subscription based service. The scenario is a streaming service provider is considering raising its subscription prices. The management team needs to analyze the potential impact on demand before making the decision. So the task are identify the factors that influence demand for a subscription based streaming service, explain how an increase in subscription prices might affect the number of subscribers, analyze the price elasticity of demand for the service, how would subscribers respond to a price increase, and fourth one, recommend a method for forecasting the impact of a price change on subscription numbers, and discuss how understanding demand elasticity will help the company make informed pricing decisions. So, coming to the solution, demand determinants, here we are going to consider content quality, price, convenience, income levels. So, let us go with content quality. The variety and exclusivity of content significantly influence demand. The affordability of the subscription relative to competitors. In such a way, we have to determine our price. And coming to the convenience, the user interface, availability on multiple devices, and ease of access. And next, coming to the income levels, higher income levels may lead to higher demand, while economic downturns might reduce demand. Then, coming to the application of law of demand, a price increase could lead to a decrease in the number of subscribers, as some may perceive the services as less valuable compared to its cost. Then elasticity of demand, here we should consider price and income elasticity. Price elasticity, if there are many alternative streaming services, demand is likely to be elastic. A small price increase might lead to a significant drop in subscriptions as consumers switch to cheaper alternatives. Whereas income elasticity for lower income consumers, demand might be more sensitive to price changes. The next, demand forecasting methods, historical data analysis. So, analyzing the effect of previous price changes on subscription numbers and surveying subscribers, collecting feedback from the current subscribers on how they might react to a price increase, and competitive analysis. So, this should be done by studying how similar price changes affected competitors. Then, factors consider the availability of substitutes, consumer loyalty, and perceived value of the service. Coming to business economics applications. So it can be applied in pricing decisions, subscriber retention, and enhancement. So pricing decisions means understanding the elasticity of demand will help the company determine whether a price increase would lead to higher overall revenue or drive subscriber survey. Subscriber retention, demand analysis can inform strategies to retain subscribers, such as offering discounts or bundling services. The next, service enhancement means the company use insights from demand analysis to enhance the service, making it more attractive despite the price increase. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.